What is going on, nerds and nerdettes? It's your boy, Stevie B, with another episode, a highly anticipated episode of part of my The Mo You Know series, that Don't Be That Customer. Today, we are going to talk about ones we should have been talking about a long time ago. And I'm talking about you suck-ass moron freaking shoplifters. Let me put it to you this way. You guys are dumber than dirt. You are so predictable. I know within 5 seconds after you walk in the door that you're going to shoplift. And not to put out an instructional video on how to properly shoplift, but you all have habits and you all do the same thing. And you think you're being sneaky, but basically you're hanging a neon sign around your neck that says, I'm fixing to rip you off. You're freaking retarded. You ain't got a brain cell left. Because as soon as you walk in the door, you give that first indication that you're fixing to steal, and I'm on you, and I'm watching you. And I'm going to make it very apparent that I'm staring you down and I'm watching you. And I'm going to make you as uncomfortable as I can possibly make it. And you're still going to try to steal. But here's what you... First of all, if you watch me, I'm watching you. Because if you're watching me, that means you're waiting for me to not look. And I'm not going to not look then. So, and then you all do the same damn thing. Y'all turn your back to me. Like I ain't got 15 cameras pointed at you. Turn your back to me and you grab something and you head on and you go in a dead sprint down to the end of the aisle to the end cap, and then you peek over the end cap to see if I'm looking and start shoving shit in your pants. You're obvious. You're so obvious. Stop doing it. And here's my problem with shoplifters is, number one, y'all bitch about prices and how high they are in the stores. That's part of the reason why. You have to recoup those costs. Y'all shoplifters go, your company's got money, they can pay for it. So no, they're going to make you pay for it. Because now, to recoup the costs they have of theft, they have to raise the prices. So now everybody has to pay for your fucking candy bar, because you couldn't scrape together $1.50 to pay for your candy bar. So that's number one. Number two is the freaking audacity of it all. I mean, the entitlement. The entitlement, you think that you are so much better than everybody else that you don't have to pay for your shit. You think you should just be able to go in and take what you want, and there should be no repercussions for it. And the sad thing about it is most of the time there's not any repercussions for it. Most of the time, if it's under a certain amount of money, and even when you catch them, the cops are going to come down there and go and turn you loose, and I will criminally trespass you from the store, so that next time you come to the store, you're going to get busted for trespassing, and then they might take you to jail for an hour. And that's the problem. That is the problem, is no accountability. No accountability for these entitled, spoiled, rotten little brats that think they need to go in and they could just take whatever they want. And now I know what you're going to say. I know that there's a few of you out there that are going to give me this sob story about, well, Stevie, some people are homeless and some people don't have no money and they're starving and they're hungry and that's the only way they can get by. No. I would buy that if you were stealing eggs and you were stealing bread or you were stealing shit like that. But when you're stealing phone chargers, condoms, candy bars, Gatorades, sodas, and junk, no. Fuck you. I ain't buying the I'm homeless and I ain't got no money and I'm just trying to survive bullshit. You don't need to survive with your phone charger. If you got a phone, but you're paying a phone bill, clearly. But And especially now, there's places begging for employees because nobody wants to get off their dead ass and get off of that government welfare that they're giving everybody out, that extra money for unemployment due to COVID. So everybody why go to work? You make more sitting home on your ass and drawing unemployment. So now these companies are begging people, we'll pay you $500 just to come in and interview. We'll give you $1,000 signing bonus if you just get hired on and last 30 days. They're begging people to come to work. So if you can't find a job in today's market, you ain't looking. So don't hand me that crap about I'm down on my luck and I need to steal a phone charger. Fuck you, I ain't buying it. But here's the thing. I'm so against the shoplifting thing that I will go against our company policy. Our company policy is not to try to detain anyone that is shoplifted, which sends a clear signal to shoplifters that go for it. We don't care. Just grab it. Hell, why even hide it? Just walk in the store and go, I like these. I'm taking these. Have a good day. We'll see you. And walk out the door. Why bother to even be sneaky about it at all? Just grab it and walk out the door with it. Nothing's going to happen to you. We're not going to press charges. Cops ain't going to take you to jail. So, and that's the problem. Not in my store. I'm going to call you out. I'm going to make you put the shit up. And then I'm going to threaten to call the police on you. Because even though the police probably aren't going to do nothing, you still don't want to be entangled with the cops. Because there's a good possibility maybe you already have some warrants out. Or maybe this isn't your first offense. Maybe you might actually go to jail. So I'm going to call you out. I've had plenty of examples that I see them do it. I'll call them out. And when they deny it, I said, look, I got you on video. I said, you can either give it back to me and get out of my store, or I can call PD and we can all pop some popcorn and go back there and watch the video. And then he can take you to jail. And usually they give it up. Now, I had one lately. Here, it's been a while back. You may have noticed it in a couple of videos. I talked about it before, but I had a guy came in, did the same thing I was talking about earlier. Walks in and he's watching me like a hawk. So I just turned around, put my arms folded my arms on my chest, and just sat there and stared at him, and made him real uncomfortable. But he didn't care, see, because he had a feeling. He said, they ain't gonna do anything anyway. So the minute I turned my head for a second, he opens the beer cooler, grabs a case of beer, and starts walking out towards the back door. And I started walking after him, and I was going, don't do it, don't do it. And I kept saying, don't do it. And I said, man, I'm warning you, I'm not the one. And he kept walking. Then he turned around and seen I was right behind him. And then he took off running. Now I'm an old fat man. And if you want a foot race, you're gonna beat me in distance. But off the jump, I still got some jump. So he shot out the door, and he got about 3 steps out the door, and I wrapped him up around his arms and drove him face first into the concrete. Now I skidded off to the side. When I landed on top of him, I skidded off the side a little bit, and your boy, yeah, got a little bit of a road rash there when my face skidded across the pavement. But him, I jacked all his shit up. He dropped the beer, and he took off running. I called the cops. I don't know why, but I did. They went and looked for him. Of course, they didn't find him. He ducked. He's on foot. He ducked and dodged. There's a big park with lots of woods back behind this where I work. So they didn't catch him, but he didn't get away with the beer either. Now, my boss came in that morning. I had my hat on because it covered up those scars or those all that shit. It was it looked way worse than it was. It was actually just a road rash kind of thing situation going. But she came in. I had to tell her, and I said, before you get mad, I said, I know what you're going to say. I know how you're going to tell me I should never, ever, ever do that. What if he had a gun? What if he had a knife? It's just stupid. I get it. I said, it was a reflex. He bolted, and I bolted after him just out of reflex. And I told her, I said like this. I said, you know what? I said, I don't regret it. I know I shouldn't have, but I don't regret it. I said, because we've sent a clear message to people that you can shoplift in this store and we won't do a damn thing about it. And I said, but that piece of shit right there, I guarantee you he'll never come back in this store again. I guarantee you. Not only that, but he's going to tell his friends how his face got all fucked up. And they ain't going to come in there and try that. I said, if you don't set a precedence, let people know that it will not be tolerated. I said, then they're going to hit you every single night and they're going to rob you blind. I said, that guy ain't going to rip you off again. I promise you. She agreed, but still, and I agree, you shouldn't do it. I'm not in any way, shape, or form condoning my actions and saying that's what you should do. It is dumb, and you could get hurt pretty badly doing that. I just have a problem. I can't sit there and just turn my head when somebody steals from me. So, but so I'm just saying, shoplifters, you're low lives. You're pieces of shit. You're the reason prices are so high. And if you come in my store, you're not going to get away with it. I promise you. But, you know, there's a couple funny stories on the lighter side of the shoplifting. I caught one shoving shit in his bag and then tried to deny it. I said, I'm sitting there watching you, dude. I said, take it out of your bag. And he refused and started to walk out the door. And I went after him too. But luckily for him and me, when I opened the door, there was a police officer at the gas pump pumping gas. So he ran right into the arms of the police officer. And oh gosh, did I have my fun with it. See, I'm friends with the local police department. I have a good rapport with them because those guys keep me safe at night when I'm there by myself. So I have nothing but the utmost respect for our local police department. So when they caught him, they shined the light in his bag, and then all of a sudden he wants to confess. Can I be honest? And I started laughing. I was like, oh, now you want to be honest because you got caught. He says, I just don't want to go to jail. And I said, then don't steal, stupid. And the officer on duty, he's looking at me going, Steve, calm down. I got this. And I'm like, no, fuck no. I'm going to have my say. But he's sitting there going, and I said, hey, I recognize you now. I said, you've been banned from this store before. And he goes, I didn't know I was banned. I said, yes, you did. He said, no, I didn't. I literally didn't know. I said, but you knew it was against the law to steal, though, didn't you? And, and the officer's going, Steve, I'm like, no, screw this guy. But the officer went to run his name and everything, and I said, so how many other stores you been banned from for stealing? And he goes, oh, he looked at me and goes, a couple, and you moron. And I was like, wow. I said, really? I said, so you keep getting caught? I said, if you were a smart person, you would think to yourself, hey, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore, especially since I suck at it. He goes, I know, right? And I was like, God. But anyway, so the cop comes back, says, it's your lucky day. Jails are full, so I'm going to let you go. And I'm like, so I looked at him and I said, you are criminally trespassed from this store. I said, do you hear me? Yeah. I said, if you come back again, I said, I'm going to call them. And he goes, well, I'm going to write you a ticket. And he goes, you're going to go to court. over this, probably pay a fine. And I was like, oh, good. I said, so the next time you come in, not only will I get you for trespassing, I said, but they can get you for failure to appear too, because you know your dumb ass ain't going to go to court and pay that fine. But I had a field day with him. And there's 2 times that I've chased shoplifters out into the parking lot, into the arms of the law. So, but I'll hold the record there. I've caught more shoplifters than anybody else working there. So I'm pretty proud of that. So hopefully I have a reputation in that store that old dude's not the one. Don't steal from him, because he'll bust you. So anyway, that is today's episode of Don't Be That Customer. Don't be a shoplifter. Pay for your shit. If you can't pay for your shit, then you don't need it that bad. You know, I'm trying to think if I've ever shoplifted in my life, and I think I have when I was a little bitty kid. I think I stole a candy bar one time, but it's been years ago. But I don't understand why. I get it when you're a kid, you don't know better, but a grown ass adult that still shoplifts, I got no sympathy for you. No sympathy. You want sympathy, you'll find it in the dictionary between shit and syphilis. So there's your sympathy. No sympathy for shoplifters. But at any rate, that's going to do it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed my little Don't Be That Customer. I know some of you say it's your favorite segment on my channel. So we'll keep doing them. I don't know what we'll do next, but we'll come up with something. There's so much material. People are dumb. But anyway, that's going to do it. Before you go, make sure you like my shit, comment on my shit, subscribe to my shit, and turn that bell on so you don't miss the next episode of this shit, because God knows what kind of shit I'm going to talk about. We'll see you guys in the next shit. Peace.